Val Taylor. It's my hands anyway, and I wanted to show you a little bit about the most common herbs that we use when we are cooking food. This right here, it's pouring down rain, so I just ran outside and pulled these off of my plants that's on the back porch. This right here is rosemary, and you could use rosemary in a number of ways. It's a very, very strong herb. If you just touch rosemary and smell it, it's very, very strong, so you only need a small amount of it. But the way you would take it off the stem is just you hold it up and you just pull it backwards like so. See, and it comes right off, and then you can chop it up and you can use it to roast chicken with. You could use it in a number of ways. You can put it in sauces and stuff. You could tie it together with basil and thyme and oregano and throw it in a pot of stews, beans, anything like that. It's a very strong herb. Just remember, you only need a very, very little of it. This right here is oregano that I just pulled out of the pot. And same thing, you smell it, it's very, very strong, and this works well on pizza and pasta sauces and things like that. You can actually make herb butter out of all of these if you want to, where you would take these herbs, chop them up, soften some butter and garlic and salt and pepper and put them in the butter, and then just freeze the butter. And then as you want herb butter on bread, you would have you fresh herb butter on bread. But the same thing with oregano, you just pull it off like so, and you'll have the stem left, and then you just chop it up. This right here is thyme, and thyme is a pain in the butt because the stem, the leaves on thyme are so small. So what I typically do with thyme is I tie it up with basil or rosemary or parsley or something, and I throw it in a pot of beans or stews and things like that, because these leaves are so tiny, and it's just a pain in the butt to deal with thyme. But thyme is such a wonderful herb. So I want to encourage you to still use it. Everybody loves basil. You know, you can make basil water. You can put basil in desserts and things like that. And a lot of these herbs you can do that with. You can put them in desserts and stuff and just chop them up and stuff, and put basil, of course, on all your, most of these herbs are finishing herbs. When I say finishing herbs, I mean you put them on the dish at the end of the meal. Rosemary you cook with, oregano you can cook with, thyme you can cook with, basil you typically use after the meal is done. So I want to encourage you to do that. And then parsley is the same thing. Parsley is like a finishing type herb that you would, but you could add it to salads and things like that. And all of these herbs work well in salads, soups, stews, on meat, lamb, chicken, beef, pork, whatever. I just wanted to show you what the fresh herbs look like. This is a pet peeve of mine. I absolutely hate buying herbs from the store. I will buy greens, organic greens from the store. I'll buy tomatoes from the store. I hate buying herbs. So I just started a pot on my back porch with all of these herbs in them, and I just grow them myself because I use them so much. So I want to encourage you to use herbs in your cooking. They add a flavor that is just delectable, just beautiful flavor to your food. Don't be scared of these herbs. Just be able to recognize them. That's parsley, that's basil, that's thyme with the tiny little leaves. This is oregano, and you can smell them all. They all have a distinct aroma, and rosemary is the hardiest of hardy, and it's very, very strong, so you only want to use a small amount of it. But learn to use these herbs and things in your cooking. Just experiment with them. You can start with a pot of beans. Experiment with a pot of beans. Experiment with them with some pasta sauce. Experiment with them with some eggs or something like that. Experiment with them with some butter. Make your own butter. And then as your palate enjoys the flavor of which herb you like, then you should consider growing your own. So I just wanted to go over these herbs with you. These are like the top 5 or 6 that most people use on a day-to-day basis. You can buy them fresh, you can buy them dried, or you can use them, or you can grow them yourself. So I want to encourage you to use herbs in your cooking because they give your food a wonderful flavor that allows your food to taste good. This is Val Taylor, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.